All right, then. So let's get started. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for our Python RegEx study series, Metacharacters II. This is session 3. Really excited to have everyone here. So the team behind creating all this content. So our speaker today is Karen Wong. She's a senior programmer at R&D company, and also like other team members who are not attending, but they also carry a lot of like the heavy lifting, like behind the scenes is Mansi. She's a master's in data science student at Indiana University, and Katarina, who is engineering manager at Kojo. All right, so Karen, I'm going to hand the microphone over to you.
Thank you, Eliza. We love you all too. We all love you too. Just want to say thank you for supporting the community. It's not I've been volunteer just a little thankful here. It's not an easy job. I've been here for 3 years now. I've seen all the fellows like hard work, like maintaining everything on top of their daytime job. So I just want to take this time to say thank you as well. So without further ado, let's get started. I am excited. This is like 7 a.m. in the morning for me. So I'm a little bit hyper from my drinks, from my honey hot drink. So to prepare everyone. So let's do, okay. Oh, thank you. You guys are awesome. Okay. Cool. Let's do this. So in case you joined the first time, just want to do a quick introduction on what is regular expression. Regular expression is how do I say that? It's a mysterious set of language. It's a language, in my opinion, that is a very powerful tool and skill set to help you to search a lot of words. So let's say if you type on a Windows Explorer, if you open a file, you search something, like regular expression is behind the scene. It's definitely behind the scene. It became more popular because especially with content searching and content searching, and also if you want to do natural language processing in in the artificial intelligence view, this is something very, very critical as well. So just want to do a little introduction what it is. So there are a lot of theory behind it, concept behind it. So if you're interested, feel free to check out the previous section, or feel free to contact us as well, to contact me as well to find out more about our regular expression if we want to discuss something. Okay, so previously we went through something called Metacharacter. A huge portion of Metacharacter. So what is Metacharacter? Metacharacter is basically what you see a symbol, for example, like an exclamation mark. It is let's say a signal, or a symbol will represent a command. So Metacharacter is a huge part of regular expression. If you try it, you try wedges before, you literally use it all the time, but without knowing, this is what it is. So I just want to take a moment to recap it and we introduce it in case you guys, this is the first time you're joining. All right, so we have a couple of pattern types. We have literal. So basically literal is the exact word. For example, the previous session we use cookie a lot because I love cookie. We're gonna talk about more cookies afterwards as well. So COOKIE is the literal word, so it doesn't have any symbol. You just type it as it is. So it's like when you do a Control F on a website, you just find the exact word. So this is how it is. Straightforward. Anchors is you can treat it as a boundary kind of character, boundary kind of Metacharacter. So we have start of line, end of line, and boundary. So boundary is the space, basically the space between the two words. So like when you type a space, it is a boundary. So this happens very often when you want to find let's say the end of sentence, or like at the beginning of sentence, like what does it start with I, does it start with a specific, like does it start with code? So this is the anchor, like you gonna, like the most uses case, like you're gonna use this when you want to find something, a character or pattern at the beginning of or the end of line. Special literals, I usually call it meta sequence. So basically you just type forward slash and a character, like and a and a word. It represents a lot of things. So for example, the most used case is actually, I didn't put it there. It's a forward slash W for words. Any type of alphabets, actually, any type of alphabet or words, and then the slash D, which is digits, so it represents 0 to 9, like these all sort of things. It's very, very helpful. You don't have to type everything, but like in a lot of cases, you will see people representing in another way. Like there are many different ways to capture a certain pattern. So feel like, if you're trying out, feel free to use like different way, like just the way you think. It's this, like, to me, in this world, there's no such thing as the best. So whatever is the most efficient to you and is the most understandable to you. All right, so we also went through a negating. Katerina did a really great job explaining like all these like characters. So if you very confused right now, like if you want a little bit more detail, please go through the session 2 on the explanation. So negating is basically to ignore whatever the character is. Whatever the character, like whatever, like basically ignore, like exclude the pattern. So if you can see, anchor is using the I think it's still caret, so that the upper arrow sign, and then negating is also use the upper gain sign. So it is basically one character has two meanings. So it depends. So this happens to register a lot. It depends on where you put it. Really like the way you put it to represent on what. So in this case, negating, they all represent, they all put it in a bracket, which we were talking about, to tell register the engine that, like, oh, I'm not searching anything like from the start of line. Instead, I'm searching, I want you to ignore something, I want you to exclude something. That's the pattern I'm looking for. So wildcard is you mix and match a lot of things. So it is really like the and or like the like the square blocker here is really like include like anything that is inside. So it's inside here, and then like dot is like, you can anything after the character. So it's a very it's a fairly very user friendly tool that can catch a lot of things. But just be mindful, it is so when you use it, when you keep using them, which is me, I'm the person who kept using these. So you tend to capture more than you want. So that's the tricky thing about this. So so just be careful when to use it and how to use it, and then like just I mean, always, like, I mean, you never go wrong. Like if you type it wrong, the computer's it's not gonna kaboom. So don't worry, just keep trying and learning. That's the way I learn as well. So we have and then last but not least, on the previous session, we have a repetition. So if you want to type, yes, like you figure out an awesome syntax to pattern to capture something, like they're like capture something, and then like you want to move it multiple times, so you don't have to type it over and over again, because the way we use computer, we don't want to repeat all the stuff over and over again. So we use a multiplier to tell them, like, let's say, oh, you want to find a pattern now, which Katerina's show on the session 2 is like find a phone number. It's very, very popular. It's very, very common to use repetition to represent like what certain digits. For example, you want to catch like area code, it's 3 digits in the US, and then so you can like just like do //d, and then like type like like for the 3, so that you're capturing like 3 digits for sure. So yeah, that is the previous method character. So I'm not gonna introduce anything like much more, because you guys did a great job last session actually, but the most challenging part is actually to mix and mesh all of them together. So I'm going to introduce two more things. It's very easy, very straightforward to understand, but it's a little bit tricky to mix together. So I'm going to go ahead. So previously I talked about the negating, right? How do you define negating using the exact same symbol as to put it the way to define it is to put it in the grouping. So grouping is let's say I have a yummy example here. So if you wanna, let's say if you going through a list of yummy desserts, you want like you okay doing cakes or cookies, like what do you want to do? Like you can all be obviously two patterns, like two sections, like two different search of regs to find cookies and cake, but you can also put them together and in the one shot, so you don't have to go through it go through the list over and over again. So you very, 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 very easy example to use is like just put cookie and cake, or two literal word together using a group and the vertical bar to like use it as an operator, and like or, so there's a cookie or cake, so you can capture both chocolate chip cookie and strawberry shortcake. Easy and straightforward, eh? Yeah, I love this. I have like one of my work I have like 10 groups of them putting together. It's a little bit more, but it like by the time you realize like you want to capture everything you want, like it becomes like a 10 groups of them. So speaking of 10 groups, if you're like a little newbie like me, using 10 groups of like groups, like, and you sometimes like another amazing pattern I want to introduce is backreferencing. So let's say if you want to capture, like you have 10 groups of them, but like if I have 10 groups of pattern, but like that 10 groups of pattern is actually a repetitive one. So if I want to find something of 2 words in between, there, like let's say if I want to find like in here, if you want to find, oh, if you have a typo, if you type something wrong, like you don't know where, something doesn't pass, but like you want to find a double word. So reference is a way to catch stuff. So in this case, so there are 2 types of backreferencing. It's not as common to use, but like this, maybe just learn it, like as like if you were, in case like in the future you need to use it, like you can use it as well. So so /n is actually just like a number. So basically if you want to capture a flower, like I don't want to, I found a gluten-free flour, but some reason I have a typo somewhere, so I want to find gluten-free flour. I want to correct it. So how do I find it? So you put the flour first, capturing group as the literal space, space here. And then I'm lazy, you know, I'm not gonna type it again. So I'm gonna use a /1 to recapture the flower again. Why one? One, if you have, let's say if you're 10 groups and you wanna capture 4, like you wanna capture something like, let's say you wanna repeat not the first flower, you wanna repeat, like, let's say if we have a second group as a cake, then you wanna repeat that word, you wanna repeat that pattern to be /2. So it depends on how many groups you have. So you can actually call it by number. It's like it's similar that it's in programming where it's similar to this index, so like first one and second one. So with this, like you can capture flower to double words. So this is the most straightforward example. If you have any, I was thinking, like when I was doing example, I was thinking, oh, if you have a lyric, you want to catch them, you know, like repeat a word within the same line. This is definitely a good way. Instead of S, like you can actually put the wildcard in between, so you can like literally catch like anything in between, but then like you have like flower, blah 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 blah, flower, and like you're able to capture that. Another way to do backreferencing is to a little bit like more programming I would say is a little bit like programming. So you can actually declare, to me it's like you can actually declare a variable or like declare something you can call. So for example, you have like multiple patterns, or like you are a very organized person, you know, I don't want to use 1 2 3. You can actually declare the pattern you want to use. So how do you use it is to put a question mark sign, and then the arrow, and then the open and close arrow, and then you put the character you want to, you kind of like like the variable that you want to call that pattern. So for example, y in this case is equal to salt, that you want to catch a salt character, like as a literal. And then like you have this pattern here, you have two groups here. So the second group is to catch flower, exactly literal, but then like it's like I use X. So let's say if I want to catch the gluten-free flower or the salt, you just have to put it here, put like, you know, slash. So so this one catches the pink salt, obviously, and this one catches this one. And but because it's repeat, so because I want to repeat it, so /k is like I want to call the variable. So in case I call X, so which means I want to catch flower. So now it's like flower. So basically the second and the other word, second patterns is actually flower instead of one flower. So it is very convenient when you have multiple patterns you want to use, you want to like catch it at the same group. It's very easy, you put like everything together. Basically it's very convenient, and also it saves time as well. So that like when the engine goes through the whole passage, like they know what to look for at the same time and parallelly. So yeah, that's one of them. So that's the back referencing. So this is actually the two things that I'm going to introduce. Oh, a little mindful. So here I hope it makes sense to you. On this one, because I'm only using literal to introduce this pattern. So what you gonna see and what you usually seen, like, you know, like all do is like you put something with like definitely with meta characters inside. So if like just make sure you get this concept, so that when like meta characters put inside, like you won't be less like you won't be like as confused. All right, let's do this. Cookies. Okay, so I'm gonna do the next thing I'm gonna do is I found it very useful when I want to when I want to make a template. I would say it's like a template as a template thing. So it's very useful when you are um like working on a computer and you want to like, just like replacing something. So in this case, I'm going to use a baking recipe. So, okay, so I know Eliza bakes here, for sure. Because I heard of a lot of cookies many times. I would love to try if I'm in Vancouver. So in case any one of you a baking person, I'm not. Even I posted here, but have you ever? When I did a baking as a noob, uh, it's so hard for me to figure out like like you found a recipe and then like you have to figure out like all like the like okay this recipe, let's say it's like serving for 10, the cookies serving for 10, but what if I want to make 20? Okay, it's easy, it's times two, it's fine. But what if I like okay what if like one day you create an ultimate like chocolate chip cookie recipe everyone loves, they want to bring you like they want you to make like different batches, like different like different occasions, different parties to serve like different people, or like one day your partner, your best friend just wanna like, oh, can I have maybe just five of them? Like, but then like your recipe is like just 10, like the recipe that you try and you perfected is like for 10 servings, like for 10 pieces of cookies. So it's I we were like well like I had this struggle before. It's like what the heck, like how I'm gonna like okay I'm gonna write down a piece of paper and calculate. So, oh, okay, is this okay, it's like 300 grams of flour. Okay, I have to divide by two, so it's 150. So I have to do like you have to like write down a new piece of paper and you do that again. So this is me. I'm pretty sure there are a lot of apps out there, because that's why I kind of like want to clarify. I'm really a noob, so I don't know much about baking. So there are lots of apps out there to you help you. Feel free to share it. I actually don't know. But then today we're gonna do a cool way. We're gonna just use our own computer to just be very flexible on your recipe, so you can do whatever you want. So how are we gonna do this? So basically, the example I'm gonna use is just the BBC food, a recipe from the BBC. So you have like ingredients there. So a lot of ingredients. It's actually not much. Yes, I know. And then you have some steps. So if you and me, I actually usually have a notebook that write down everything, and and write down everything, and then like okay, I'm gonna make a multiplier. So like it's like my notebook is on the floor, it's next to the flower, so it gets 30 and stuff. But like now what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a template to make our brain easier by doing less math. Let's put it that way. Give me 1 second. So, hold on. So what I'm gonna do is, okay, let me share my screen again so you guys can able to see the whole thing, because I don't think you guys seen the whole thing. I want you guys to see the whole thing. Okay, so me put it. Okay, cool. So this is the recipe. This is the slides, and then this was the recipe I used just for reference. We're gonna go through this after. We're gonna go through this for sure. So in case in case anyone is new here, we actually put all our study materials here. Let me copy and paste it on the chat so you guys. Give me 1 second. All right. So this is this is where all the materials are. So just to do a little quick introduction, a little detour. So you can find our previous slides here. You can find like the examples here when we put some like resources and think like the games that you can practice on. So if it's like you want to try it along with me, and this is I guess that is new to you. Once you get to this page, you can let me put it bigger so everyone can see. Okay. So you're on the GitHub. So the most straightforward, the fastest way to download the file is to go to code and then download zip. So that way you will get the material we need today. You will get the material. Just click save and place it somewhere, and then we will go through this. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna do the whole screen here so that like everyone can see. Give me 1 second. Oh, see. Okay, awesome. So once you download it, you have this, and then like the example is gonna be here today. So you can go through this after if you guys have any questions. So let's do this. So I'm going to open a coding file. Actually, let's make it less imitating. I'm opening on a notepad. Why not, right? Okay. All right. There we go. So this is the recipe. I'm gonna put a BBC here. So this is the recipe I copied and paste from the website. So I copy the ingredients, I copy the methods that you need to do. It's very simple, it's very straightforward. But then what I did here, because and then like after I copy this, the first thing I think is like, okay, I'm creating this recipe so that I can change the numbers. Straightforward, right? So basically what I need to do is to anything that need to be changed constantly, I use a character. I use like something to represent them. In this case, I use it looks like a variable here to represent the number I would change. So for example, butter instead of 120 gram, I use like num butter. It's and you can name anything you want, like literally name anything you want, and then like with the rest I do it as well. And then beside this, I also like need to change. There are stuff that I need to change in the stats as well. So anything that, like for example, like here, like number of like the amount of salt here is going to increase or decrease with the saving, so with the serving. So I'm gonna put the salt here as well, and then the number also, and then finally I know like I want to indicate two things. I want to indicate how many cookies I'm making. Like you don't want to like have like 200 grams and then you don't know what is like how many how many servings you're doing, right? So I'm gonna create a number of servings here. I want to like change. This the number of servings is gonna be constant. I like a constant change on like the variable to do like change it constantly. And I did a little something neat. So I want to record the day that I updated the recipe, so I know which one is new, which one is like when did I create this. Okay, so hopefully straightforward enough. Am I supposed to make it bigger? Sorry. Zoom. Okay, cool. Big enough. Okay, so basically servings, they be very straightforward, and then change name all the numbers that it's gonna be changing. to a variable. In this case, I put it this way. All right. Okay, stop tempting me. Stop tempting me. Okay. So this is the first one I created. Then also create another. I gotta be careful here. I also created another mini script here to change everything. So I'm gonna go through a little bit. I'm gonna like just slightly go through this. You guys don't have to create it. Like just like try to understand it, and then like I mean you guys can just use it like it's as it is. So so once I have the recipe, and then I basically use so the recipe is in the text file, and then the script is gonna be in a shell or bash file, so you can run. I'll show you how to run it in the terminal. So basically a script to run it in the computer that you can change it all, you can change the recipe all the time. So let's do this. Like define. So we're gonna define all parameters here. The multiplier is how many servings there. So for example, I know this because BBC website says this is for like this amount of ingredients is for 10 cookies. So the 10 cookies, so what I'm gonna do is like I'm gonna like so basically the multiplier is like if you have one serving, you want to have like 10 cookies, you can just type 1, so it's 10 times 1 is like you can see it here. So basically this means 10 times 1. Okay, so if you want to do 2 multiplier, so you want to do 20 cookies, so you do 10 times 2. So this is how it works. So I'm going to use this multiplier. Oh, by the way, this is in case it's new in programming, you use this to declare the variable like a symbol to represent something, and then equals to like whatever you want to represent. So this case is more of a little bit more obvious. So so number butter. So we're gonna, so here is for this example. So number of butter. If you want to do 2, if you want to do 20 servings of cookies, you can like, so basically what it does is like times 2 for you. Same as the rest of the stuff. So if you have the script, you see a little bit different on here. Oh my bad, this is okay. Nothing happened. So if you see here, it's just a different way that I overcome these the 0.5. So because like the soda, the big, I believe it's a baking soda. Baking soda is actually 0. It's like actually one and like so a half teaspoon. So I'm gonna use like 0.5 here. So this is just a way to do a multiplier, just to multiply by to use it, because in a script, like in any type of program language, a number, a literal number, we call it integer, it handles this differently than a decimal number, which we call it a float. Just a little extra information here. So this is how we do it, and then like we set all the ingredients now. Like we set all the multipliers and stuff, and now once everything is ready, okay. So what the script does is, first of all, we always have a pattern of always have a habit of creating a new copying a new like copying from the original original template to make changes. So so this is basically telling, oh, you're gonna create a new text, like you're gonna create a new text file to indicate like from the template to a new file that like indicate like how many servings there are. And then and then this is like telling, oh, this is checking, this is basically a message like saying, oh, how many cookies you're gonna like, like you're indicating how many servings and then where it does it put it. So this is just a script to do. Now back to the regular expression. Yes, we are doing regular expression. So SCD, I really want to introduce it. It's very useful, but no one, like almost no one really touch it because it's it's used inside the terminal. So it's very little people using it, but it's very powerful in terms of changing something. You don't need to use any software. It's actually in the computer. So in here you can see so what is happening here in this case is like you taking off number of serving from here. Oops, here. From number of serving of the file and to replace it on here. Ooh, here. So the first one is they whatever is inside the text file, and the second one is like what variable you want to, like what number you want to put it in the file. So this is basically how it works. I'm not gonna do too deep about this. So just want you guys like have enough to change your own. And then like you just this itself is the registrative. It's already registrative. So in here, so basically it's indicating, like telling the C file is a command that like, oh, I want to do this. I want to do this command onto the new file that I created on here. So after and then afterwards, so it's the same. So if we use the exact same command basically on the rest of the stuff, like for the butter, the sugar, everything else. So you basically all it does is to really just to replace everything that you did. And then there's something new. There's something a little bit different than what I did for the rest of the recipe is like I'm going to create a date. So because you know how like here I have like last update time, right? So in this function, this function, it really is saying, so you know how this is talking about the text recipe, the text, like you know the text here, and then this is it's a function that you can just use it as in like to just create the dates, like you know create the date, like you know today's date is like you know 07:51 Eastern time and March 16th. So yeah, this is the difference. So it takes, so I really want to introduce it because it's in the computer first of all, and it's very it's just so powerful that like you as a lot of people like don't see it, and it's that's the thing about programming. So it's you take some time to create it, but once you create it, like you know you can use it over and over and over again. So this is the beautiful thing about programming that like I love, and hopefully you guys can make it use as well. Okay, right now let's do this. Okay, so what happened here? Oh, okay, how to open the terminal? I probably should introduce it. So open the terminal if you're on Windows. You just have to type command prompt, CMD. So search start a command prompt. If you're on Mac, you're gonna use something, you just have to type terminal. It's literally called terminal, TERMINAL. I don't think I can make it bigger. Oh, I can make it bigger. Oh, cool. Okay, so it's terminal, so you can just use it like it's on the it's definitely on your computer. I guarantee you 110%. So try to make use of it. So right now, we are on a where the example is have like which has the two script that I introduced. So what happens right now is like basically we just have to type bash and then section 3 and then change portion, and then so basically this is to call the script. This is like the program I want to use and call this script. And then because so here we type this is just like the number we want to type. So just to try to remember, okay, I'm gonna type something like, let's say you want to make 50 cookies. So you just would type 5. You want to type 30 cookies, you type 3, right? So you just do this. And it ran, and it tells you here, you create a recipe for 50 cookies, and then like you serving like, and then you saving at this location. So this location, so which is actually here, like at this same folder. So see right now. Okay, this is actually this. Oops. See, we have 50 cookies. Let's see what we did. Let's see what I did actually. Okay, so I create this in March 17, like right now, because this is Hong Kong time, so it's early in the morning. And then now inside of 120 butter, 20 grams of butter. Oh, I don't have to do any math. Like now, okay, I'm going to use 600 grams of butter, and then like 375 of like, sugar. So everything is so easy. Oh my God. Okay. I stopped enjoying myself from this recipe. So so this is just a very basic functional like the way that you can actually use regis with another program, like with like with like how do you implement it in like with programming, like with a little script. If you are a baker, I think this is definitely, I hope this is helpful for you, because I struggle myself. So this is something, it's hopefully it's good. By the way, if you guys have any recipe you want to share, you can make a script. I think everyone can, kind of like learn, I kind of share, and I saw like we don't have to do it. So yeah, feel free to do it. Feel free to make a recipe on the Slack, share on the Slack, please. So make it happen. So that we can all learn. And then like if you have any questions, I know it's something a little bit outside of like regular expression. And then next session will be easier, because we're gonna talk about Python, strictly Python. But this time, we definitely gonna learn some cookies. Hi, Chetna. So yeah, this time it's just want to introduce another way to how regis, like how just like something basic can be very powerful. All right. So any questions so far?
Any feedback?
I'm gonna go through some exercise. So I'm gonna go through a little exercise. I know we have like 4 minutes left. To just like get practice. So just like kind of recap everything, because it's quite important to do so. So
we do have a question if you want to.
Okay, yes. Nicole. Oh, okay. Thank you. I really appreciate. I appreciate you try. I appreciate that. Nicole, I hope you're on Slack. This is a very, thank you for catching it. I actually appreciate it. Why? Because you are actually finding a fatal flaw of my script. So this script is actually meant for a Mac computer or like Unix, because I use Linux. So it's meant for this. So it has the little error because it doesn't run on, it might not as compatible as Windows. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna post it. I'm keep update keep it. I'm gonna I want to keep you guys post. I'm gonna create another script for Windows. Sorry, I tricked you guys again. I'm gonna create another recipe for Windows. So the script, so you get it and then make sure it works. So and then I'll update you guys from that. Is there regis reference 330? Yes, Mary. Yes. So here. Okay, so we post something, like what I found it very useful is to master there's a book called Mastering Regular Expression. It's long, it's very detailed. Like I learned a lot from that. So if you're a book person, feel free to read that. If you course like if you want to like like do like learn something by game, I love to do so. So you can actually play some games and do RegEx coursework, and then to practice and learn. Stop. So I think I think I'm gonna stop because I need to go to work. It's my fault, but like so I'm gonna upload the practice question. Mary answer you back the question. I'm gonna when I upload this, so please try to. It's just like multiple Q&A questions. Like everyone, if you guys want to learn like practice regis, just feel free, like just keep practicing and do the practice question if you have any questions. Post it on Slack. I hope you guys all joining Slack right by now. Yes. Okay. Yeah, just keep practicing. I'm gonna post the question. So next, it's important, be prepared, guys. Next time, in case you just joined and missed the introduction, we're gonna do the next two sessions. We're gonna do some really fun stuff. We're gonna find the stuff we want, the content we want from an HTML code. So if you're interested in web scraping, this is the second step to actually find what you want. And then we're gonna go through some social media content. So let's say if you have a Twitter message, you're doing like data analytics, it's definitely a plus for you guys to practice like on the text file and like find what you want and understanding the data set. We also will do a email, like finding stuff in the email. It's a lot trickier. It's a lot tricky. Like I myself experienced that it's a lot trickier than you think. To find some email, because basically it's a mixture of HTML code on the raw text, and you have to find like it's harder than you think to find and the header and the footer. That's just a personal experience, but like we're gonna do everything. We're gonna do some we're gonna do this practice in Python. So just make sure you're ready. Do some practice questions, get yourself prepared so you know what's going on, study other Metacharacter, and then we'll have some fun stuff, very fun stuff in session 4 and 5.
Thank you so much, Karen. Appreciate have a good day at work. Start your day off. Thank you everyone for attending. All right, I'll wrap it up. Thank you everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, and we'll see you at our next Women to Code Python event. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye guys, thank you.